Hello. And welcome back to SkeinyLegend podcast. Episode something? 7? I think it's 7. Okay, my notebook says it's 7, so we're going episode 7. I am Anna. I am SkeinyLegend. I am 28. No, I'm 27. I'm turning 28 soon. That's why it's on the brain. But no, I'm currently 27. I currently live in Montreal. And we're filming another one of these where I talk about knitting and stuff. Okay, so it was very, very, very cold over the weekend. Like, felt like minus 40 Celsius, although I think that's basically the same as Fahrenheit. But it's warmed back up, and so I am once again in my overly heated home. So I have the window open. Hopefully no buses come by while I'm talking to my phone, and hopefully the heating doesn't turn on and make the weird noises. And that is also the reason why I'm not currently wearing any knits, because I put all my summer knits away for the winter and I don't have access to them right now, and so all I have is sweaters, which are great for when I go outside, but not for when I'm sitting inside my way too hot house and trying to talk to like 1 or 2 handfuls of people on the internet. So I'm currently wearing my booby shirt. It matches the booby painting in my sublet. How nice. I got this from these like 2 lovely girls that had a random pop-up in Toronto during COVID, but I have no idea who they are because they didn't like tag or label the shirt in any way. Maybe I can do some Instagram stalking, but like I honestly can't remember what random coffee shop that I bought it from, which is annoying because it's a cute shirt and I do quite like it a lot and would love to say where it's from, but I can't. So that's that. I don't know what else to say. I feel like it's been a while since I filmed a podcast, but I just like, I have nothing to say, and I feel like maybe the knitting podcast like genre is oversaturated, so like why am I putting in my 2 cents? But then also I kind of like editing videos. Unfortunately, to edit videos you have to film videos, so here we are. I'm doing lots of weird long pauses in this one, so I will have to edit all of those out. But let's begin with finished objects. So first finished object that I've been wearing like literally non-stop is my hot pink Ranunculus long sleeve edition. This I was like buddy knitting with Geo Knits. She's doing a cute light pink version and she's almost done hers, which is also exciting. But here's mine. Cute. I have been wearing it literally all the time. So I knit this bad boy. Okay, so the Ranunculus that everyone knows by Midori Hirose, in case you didn't, and it's a cult classic for a reason. The yoke is beautiful and super fun and quick to work up, but then honestly the rest of it's kind of a chore because you're just knitting a boring ass body and boring ass sleeves, but whatever. I found, I wonder if I have a photo or a video of it. If I do, I'll put it in. I found this hot pink cashmere sweater in the thrift store like a while ago, and so I unraveled that, and then I had held it quadruple, like what a pain for this. And it's like the softest, warmest thing, and I love it. I love the color. It was not a color that I normally wear, but it spoke to me in the thrift store and I bought it, and I'm very glad. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, it was a pretty large sweater to begin with, but I was holding it quadruple, and I was like, oh, I'll totally have so much left over of this and I'll be able to knit myself a headband, blah blah. No, I ran out, so it is a little bit cropped. But I was actually able to block it out pretty good. I actually think I took a photo or a video of what it looked like pre-blocking. So maybe I can put this in here and then like contrast it with the post block. And I got a lot more length out of the sleeves and out of the body, which is great. The sleeves, I did do the diagonal cuff line that is called for in the pattern, and I don't know if I like it. I do think it kind of sits, like hangs a bit weirdly on the arm sometimes, and it's a bit puffy. And then I don't know if I did something wrong on one sleeve and the other, but one sleeve, like the wrist opening, I don't know if you can see that there, like here. Let me see, oh, line it up better. See here, like on this sleeve, the wrist opening is way larger, and I don't understand why. Like this one I like yanked to block, and this one I was very gentle, and it still like ended up way bigger. And so I'm like, did I forget to decrease for this? Okay, actually I think at first I was like, no I didn't, but now that I'm looking at it, I totally did forget to knit two together before I did the I-cord, right? Looking, oh, that's so irritating. Okay, maybe I will I might be unpicking this I-cord and bind off and redoing that really quickly later this week, because I swear I looked at this and was like, I did knit together on both sides, but I didn't. That's why this one's twice the size of this one. Okay, whatever, that's irritating. But that being said, overall I love it. I think it's a fun color, it's a great pattern. Second one I've knit. Cashmere at the thrift store, like very cheap. Like this whole sweater, I think what the sweater was probably $9.99 or like $8.99. So I got a sweater's quantity of wool, of 100% cashmere wool, for $8. But holy cannoli, is that a goddamn pain in the ass to unravel. So I'm not sure if I can recommend it to anybody, but if you like to torture yourself and you're super cheap, then I highly recommend going to your local thrift store and trying to find a cashmere sweater and pulling it apart. Oftentimes people will donate them because I feel like cashmere sweaters get little holes, or like moths I think really like them. So those are fine. Obviously once you unravel them, you end up with a couple shorter bits, but I don't know, I'm rambling at this point. But Ranunculus number 2 done and dusted, and I have been wearing it like probably 5 days out of 7 in the week, which is great. And yeah, so super happy with that one. How nice. Okay, checking my notes. Next up is my Chinese New Year sock. Like, how fun. Okay, although we've had a little bit of a laundry incident in the household, my boyfriend did some laundry for us the other day, and he washed everything on hot. We don't love that. A couple of my socks have definitely felt it. Like, superwash, obviously, if you're being a good knitter, what do you say? A good hand knit item owner, you probably still wouldn't machine wash anything. However, I do find superwash normally holds up just fine in the washing machine in a cold wash. It's fine. So I always grew up just washing all my clothes on cold. Like, sheets and towels can go in hot, but clothes I've always done in cold. I think it makes your clothes last longer. But the light of my life, my lovely partner, did some laundry, which bless him, but he definitely did them in hot, and so these have felted. And my Advent socks have really felted. Like, those I can barely get over my heel. Like, they're kind of painful to wear. So if you have any tips for, like, I know I just should try and block it larger, but I know felting's a one-way process. So realistically, nothing is gonna be done, and it is what it is. Luckily, these are like this one was like a tiny bit big on me, so I think having it lightly felted is fine. But yeah, any tips for blocking out accidentally felted items, let me know. That was a side rant. My next finished object is my Chinese New Year sock, which I designed myself for the Year of the Rabbit. Close up here. So, rabbit on top, a cute little good luck, I think, fook is how I was told to say it, although I'm sure nothing I say in Cantonese sounds like it's supposed to say. Like it's supposed to sound like my family understands it, but would any random person who actually speaks Cantonese understand what I say? No. But here it is. I did send the chart to my popo, my grandma, to make sure that it was actually legible in Chinese, and she said it was good, so that's great. But we got the rabbit, we got the foot, and then on the sides I did some cute little like flowers, you know, blossoms. That's very Chinese New Year-y. And then, which is super cute, on the toe I embroidered a little 23 for 2023, year of the rabbit. So I decided that I'm really all over the place, so I'm so sorry to anyone watching this. Please keep watching. I can't promise it'll get better though. But my family tradition, I'm half Chinese. My family tradition is on Chinese New Year, you wear a new article of clothing. I honestly couldn't tell you if that's like a real thing or if it's just something my family does, but that's what we do. And like normally it's socks because those are cheap, and or like underwear, and you can like easily just grab a new pair to wear for that one day. So I was like, it would be a great idea for me to knit Chinese New Year socks. That'd be sweet. And I should design a Year of the Rabbit pattern. So I did, and it went great, and I whipped this bad boy up. And I had plenty of time. Like, I thought I was gonna press for time. I had like 10 days, but like I finished the entire sock in like 3 days. So I was like, okay, this is chill. And then I was like dragging my feet, and then I swear this was a conscious decision and not because I ran out of time, but I was like, actually, I think I'm only gonna do one sock. Reasoning being, I had my second sock, my yin yang sock, that I actually hadn't worn yet. So I was like, this could be a pair of new items. And then, did I say A? Did I say one? Am I numbering these reasons? I don't know. But my next reason was that I feel like it's kind of on brand for me to only do one sock, because especially with colorwork socks, as you know, if you're an experienced, I wouldn't say listener, but I guess you watch these, experienced viewer of the pod, you would know that I like to just knit one sock, because knitting 2 socks is boring. So I was like, one sock is great. And then also I was like, I would love to do this every year. And then, do I really want to own 12 pairs of Lunar New Year socks? Like, not really. I feel like 6 is like a little bit more reasonable. Realistically, this is gonna be over 12 years, so who knows? But yeah. And then, to even more tangent, like, who knows where I'm gonna go with this. But so I am currently retired. I don't like to say I'm unemployed anymore. I like to say retired, because it was my choice, you know. We had some burnout. We had a little bit of like employment trauma from my last job working in healthcare. During a global pandemic, I was not patient facing. Like, blessed nurses, doctors, support staff, like the unsung heroes of our healthcare system. Not the doctors, everyone sings about them, but the support staff and the nurses and the techs, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I was not that. That's a whole nother level. But, sorry, whatever, I touched my computer. But I was working in a hospital, like, in person throughout an entire pandemic. Like, COVID people coughed on me, and, like, I was not trained for that. Anyways, we weren't allowed to take a vacation. It was wild, and so I quit my job and moved to Montreal with my partner. So anyways, I'm retired right now, and like, oh my god, it's been almost a year, which is crazy. And like, but I've been doing stuff and like traveling, whatever. But it's been a long time, and I am starting to get like a teeny wee little bit bored. But I'm not really sure if I'm ready to like career again, because I don't know what I want to do. Whatever, this is a very personal podcast, whatever. So I'm thinking that I will put this together as a real pattern. Now, I realize I've missed Lunar New Year this year, obviously, because I knit this for Lunar New Year, and it was like 2 weeks ago now. So, I'm thinking I will create eventually I'd like to create charts for all 12 years, like all 12 Chinese zodiac signs. But I'm in the process right now of charting up something for next year, Year of the Dragon. So maybe I'll put like that together in a pattern and pop that on Ravelry. Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking that I will throw it on Ravelry, just as something fun to do. I will probably put here and on my Instagram, like, I'm not out. I'm doing this as something fun to do, not to like. Okay, I don't know why, but I get so embarrassed every time there's any chance that my boyfriend like could hear me doing my podcast. So then like when I hear his footsteps, I'm like, So there's a bunch of pauses because I have to go like, if I hear him coming too close, you know. I don't know why I'm like this, but I am. But any of you, anyone here, you watching this, you, or like even on my Instagram, whatever, like I'm not doing this to make money, I'm doing this as like a fun thing. So if you want the pattern, once I make it, like just message me and I'll send it to you, you know. Like you can test knit it, but you don't even have to test knit it. Like I'll just send you the pattern. But it's really gonna be a chart. The thing is, I find this really difficult. Like at this point, like I know how to knit a sock, you know, so I just knit them. And so I don't even know how much detail to put in a pattern anymore. Like what do people need to know or not need to know? Like I don't know. So realistically, it's gonna be a glorified chart. So if you want the glorified chart, hit me up and I'll put this bunny one, and then I'm gonna do the dragon one for next year, and then as we go I'll probably do all 12 at some point as like a fun little bundle. I don't know, I just think it'd be fun, and like I love knitting socks, and it'd be fun if other people knit the ones that I designed. I think that would be super cool. But okay, that's enough backstory about the actual sock. So this is a Yawal cherry is the red, and some like random like sock yarn that I found in a grocery store. It was like proper superwash merino sock yarn. Is like this fun tweed color here. Ooh, the sun's out today. Anyways, tweed, and it's knit top down, obviously an all over color work. I did Fish Lips Kiss heel. Did I? I think I did. But obviously any short row or afterthought heel would work, and then I like a rounded toe. So a rounded toe, and then the color work chart. So yeah, I guess hit me up if you have any interest in that. If you don't, that's fine too, but I'll just send it to you because like I don't care, it's not gonna be that good anyway. So okay, the last thing that I finished recently, oh my god, that was like a really long time me talking about nothing. I'm gonna just like wipe my eye, gross. Like also I should do all these things and not talk because then I can just edit it out, but like if I'm trying to edit out me wiping my eye but I'm talking through the whole thing, then I can't edit it out. Whatever. So then I don't know who of you are on TikTok, but if you are, then you would have seen, I'm just gonna play the TikTok so it'll go in here. But we've seen this TikTok of this girl knitting this dress basically, that has this cute little like ruched side. So I saw that and I was like, I need to do this. Also, what I want is a top because like I wouldn't really ever wear a full knitted dress like that. But then, so this girl like is extremely popular TikTok, her knitting one, it like blew up. So I like go and look at her final design, and it's nothing like the original dress. Like the whole key feature of this dress is it has this like ruched keyhole on the side where you like drawstring it, and it's like cute. And then in this woman's like viral TikTok dress that she knits, like it doesn't have that one key feature. She still knits a beautiful dress, but I'm like, this is nothing to do with the one that was in the TikTok. So that TikTok was no help, and then I made up the whole thing. So basically I made, oh look, at the blinds are doing some weird things, but I made this, and it has, if you see here, like the ruched keyhole on the side. Admittedly right now it's held together with string because I want to buy like a cute ribbon and put it in there. But like, yeah, I did this. It came from my brain and I made it, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Once again, like, I'm not a pattern designer, so like, well, I don't know, I feel like everyone's trying to turn their like podcasts and like knitting pages into like being pattern designers, and like that's just not me. Like, I don't feel comfortable charging anyone for anything that I came up with because I'm an idiot. Realistically. So here I unruched. I'm trying to like line up in the frame. Oh, I think I'm just gonna turn this a little bit. Okay, so I came up with this. Can you even see this? I don't know, but basically I knit it from the bottom up, and first you knit it like back and forth. So here's the keyhole here. Ugh, I'm like not a good explainer, but I did it back and forth, and then I did a bunch of short rows at the ends here to get them longer because I wanted some space for ruching. And then I did an I-cord. There's an I-cord all along the keyhole so that I could thread the ribbon through. So like there's an I-cord edge, and then yeah, short rows were done along this edge to like elongate it so it'd have more ruche opportunity. And then I just like I-cord did along the top and connected it really ugly here. Like I could have done a much better job connecting it there, but like I didn't. And then I just picked up along the side and then knitted in tube until it covered my boobies, and then, you know, did the decreases, like, you know, split in half, did the decreases along the front, did the decreases along the back, joined for the strap, which I think I made the strap too thin, but like that's fine. And then yeah, I threaded the string through for now, but yeah, I want a ribbon, and then you just ruche, you pull that and it like makes a cute little ruched keyhole kind of vibe, and then you tie it in a nice bow. But like, why did I knit this? It's February. Like I said, it was -40 the other day. Like I'm not gonna be wearing this anytime soon, but I guess, okay, in April I'm going to, God, my computer keeps dimming, but in April I'm going to Australia and Vietnam, so like maybe I'll wear it there. But yeah, look at I'm actually like very proud that this came from my brain and it turned out more or less how I wanted it to. But what I wanted to talk about as well is, so this, like, I won't buy yarn firsthand anymore unless it's sock yarn. But so this is cotton, and it came from, oops, a thrifted sweater that I have here. But this was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done, because if you'll see this sweater, it's actually it's like heathered or marled or whatever, so it's actually 2 strands of a dark and a lighter green. And so I went, like, plied together, and so I unraveled this and then I unplied these 2 colors, and it took hours, and I don't know why I did it. Okay, do you know why I did it? Because this was too thick, and I wanted like a thin, like for a summer top, this weight is too thick. I don't understand anyone who like knits like I don't know why yarn weights that well, but like knits cotton summer tops in like a worsted, is worsted the right weight? Anything above like a 5mm needle, like what are you doing? Like this I knit on I think a 375. So basically this was too thick. I didn't like how thick this material was, so I was like, okay, I'll split it apart. But it was like really plied together. Like this shit is twisted, so I'd have to untwist it and then like let the ball unspin and then untwist it. It was like actually such a nightmare. And so I still have tons of this left, and I am planning to knit actually started it, but then I put it to the side because also knitting with cotton is like an actual nightmare. But I think it's by Ocean Knits, her Milkmaid top, like the Made You Look top. I want to knit one of those, and I've started it, and so I'm gonna do that, I think, out of this lighter green here. I don't know why I'm saying I think. I started at the top. I'm going to be doing it out of this lighter green. Why didn't I? I didn't grab that for my whips because I like cast it on and then I haven't looked at it since really. So whatever, I'll talk about it when I actually work on it, but I've put it to the side for now because I was tired of knitting with cotton, and like it's unseasonable. I'm not gonna wear any of these tops, although maybe I just wear them to podcast in because it's so hot. But I feel like kind of like a little risque like podcasting in this. Like this is like full on a like thought top, which like I'm all for in the summer, but I feel like in February like that's a bit crazy. Oh my god. So who knows what I'm doing or what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, that I believe was my last finish on it. Let's look. It was. Okay. Great. So now on to whips. My boyfriend's parents were here, so I had to like put all my stuff away so everything's like properly in a bag. But like look how full this one is. It's ridiculous. But this one is my Sunday cardigan by PetiteKnit. Like I'm calling it my Chunkyy edition. She doesn't have a Chunkyy edition, but I have like taken it into my hands to do Chunkyy edition. So this was a sweater that I knit ages ago that didn't fit, so I've unraveled it, and oh my god, okay, what a mess. And here's the beginning of a super chunky Sunday cardigan. Like I think with blocking it'll smooth out a bit because right now like it looks real messy. But oh my god, I hate knitting on this. Like look at the size of these needles. They're like gigantic and they hurt my wrists. Like it hurts my wrist. These are US size 17s. I don't use US sizes. I normally use millimeters, so I actually have no idea. Is that a 13 millimeter, 15 millimeter? I actually don't know, but they're giant and it's like painful to knit on, but I love this color. Great color. And I'm thinking this will turn into kind of like a jacket cardigan because it's so thick. But I don't understand all those like Instagram girlies who are like pumping out these like chunky, super chunky sweaters and stuff. Like, do your wrists not just hurt all the time? It's so uncomfortable to knit on. And like I don't really know if I love the look, but like I had the yarn already, so I was gonna try and make it into something that I actually enjoy wearing. But so far I'm not like super loving it and how it's looking, but it just looks really uneven, and I don't know if that's because like it was unraveled and so then now it looks like I frogged it, so the yarn's kind of, you know, spaghetti ramen-y, so maybe that's leaving it to be uneven and it'll block nicely, or if I just have terrible tension with these giant needles or what. But the original sweater, so I have a panel here, I'm like knitting directly off of it. Like this one's smooth if I look at it, but it's been blocked, so maybe it'll block nicer. But this also is like big brain time because like I said, PetiteKnit like doesn't have a Sunday cardigan Chunkyy edition, and even if she did, like I wouldn't buy it because I already own the Sunday cardigan pattern. So I have just been like completely reworking it to work at, yeah, a wildly different gauge. Like I think these are supposed to be done on 6 millimeters. I don't remember, but it's actually was way easier than I thought it was gonna be. Like it takes a little time to like sit down and do the math, but I know. Okay, mini tutorial on how to like completely change the gauge of a pattern. So take the gauge of the pattern that you're starting with, and then like take the gauge of your swatch, and then you find the ratio, and then, you know, you're like, okay, mine was 1.5 times bigger. So for every like 1.5, every 10 of her stitches, I was doing like, no, every 10 of my stitches, she had like 15 to like get the same size. So you use that and like you divide all of those. And then you just need to make sure that you have the right multiple of stitches. Should I even be talking about this? I don't know. But like, let's say she said to cast on like 60 stitches. So then I would divide 60 by 1.5. Which would be 40, I think. Quick math. anyways, it would be like 40. But you can't just cast on 40 stitches, because then you have to go in the pattern and look. Like, this obviously has like a pattern repeat. So the original pattern repeat was, there was 7 stitches on either side for the button band, and then a repeat of 8 stitches plus 1 at the end. I think it was something like that. So then you have to go in and be like, okay, what do I want to do? So I was like, I only want 5 stitches in the front on the 2 sides. So you make sure that you like take out the 5 stitches, and then you have to make sure you have the 1 extra stitch for the side, and then you need to make sure the rest of it is a multiple of 8. So 40, take out the 10 stitches, that would go down to 30. Take out the 1 extra stitch, that would be down to 29, and then you have to do a multiple of 8. So you could choose like 24 or 32. You'd probably go up to a 32, and then you add them all back in. So you'd actually have to cast on like 43 stitches. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Like, I could do like a full-on tutorial for it, but how many people are out there wanting to do a Sunday cardigan chunky edition? I don't know. But if you did, I can teach you how to do it. And then you just gotta check row gauge. So if she says knit 10 rows, maybe you'd only knit 6, depending on what yours is. Or, you know, if she says to knit 6 centimeters, you still just knit 6 centimeters, but it might only be 2 rows, you know? I don't know, but like, it's actually way easier than I thought. And so I've obviously here I've split for sleeves, and then I'm knitting. I like finish the section I was working on the body, and then I like to knit the sleeves, and then I go back to the body, because I find like sweaters fit differently when they have sleeves versus no sleeves. So it's best to like knit the sleeves first before finishing the body, because it can have a really different length. Oh my god, I have the window open and someone is smoking that dank and it stinks. But I'm gonna leave the window open because I'm hot. Whatever, I'll just deal with it. So this, like, honestly, I haven't really done much of it on a while because, like, yeah, it hurts my wrists. But I should pick this back up again, I think. But that is my Sunday cardigan fake chunky edition, because that doesn't actually exist. And then, okay, here I am being like a gosh darn hypocrite, because my next whip is actually the second sock, and it's a second chicken sock. This is Eggs for Easter by Stone Knits from her Charming Colorworks Socks book, and like, I'm obsessed with her and she's amazing. And I'm knitting a second chicken sock. Now you're like, why are you knitting a second chicken sock? You just said that you only knit one of things. And well, because I made the first chicken sock a shorty, and I'm like, you need to wear a shorty sock with another shorty sock. Like, unless you're a psycho, I can't imagine wearing the full length sock on one foot and then like a shorty sock on the other. So this one's a different color though. This one's green, the other one was blue. So like, that's kind of a different vibe. And then I actually, we'll see how they look together, but I totally kind of changed it, because so normally, like, Charlotte's patterns normally call for you to like cast on a bunch of extra stitches for the color work and size up a needle size. And I am at this point, I'm a pretty loose color work sock knitter. Like, I have no issues with stretching floats and getting them over my foot, so I've been finding that increasing stitches and increasing the needle size like is too much, and it ends up a bit loose in the colorwork area. So I don't remember what I did on the first sock, but I did something funky with that, and so this time I decided that I would cast on the extra stitches but just keep the same needle size, and I quite like that. So I think this sock has 1 extra chicken on it than my other sock does. So like, maybe that'll look kind of silly side by side, but like, the rest of the sock is the exact same, like same number of stitches around for the foot and everything, and the cuff. So I'm hoping that it doesn't feel that weird. But also, these went on hold. I had started them before my Chinese New Year sock, but then I like put this on hold to do my Chinese New Year sock, and now I guess I'm back on this guy. I'm kind of in the boring part though, like just the foot. Kind of dull, honestly, so. And the issue is I've started my last project, which I'll show you in a second, which I'm like really enjoying knitting on, and it makes me not want to knit on any of this other stuff that I have going on. Whoops. But this will be finished eventually, and I think it'll make for a nice shoulder season sock, like a spring fall sock. Yeah, once again, like a hand knit sock that's short. Like I don't really know what I was thinking. I know what I was thinking. That the pattern is for a shorty sock, and who wants to knit like the long, boring, non-colorwork portion of the sock? Like no one. So I was like, it says it's a shorty sock, I'm just gonna go straight to the heel, like I'm gonna do a shorty sock. And then obviously now I'm like, well, why did I do that? Like I'm not gonna, do I want a shorty sock? I don't know. But it's super cute. Like look at those fucking chickens. Bok bok motherfuckers, look at me. I love them so much. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. Here, cover my face so you can see the chickens. There you go. Anyway, big fan. Like my one true love and forever sock knitting inspiration is Charlotte Stone, so bow down to her. And then okay, my last whip is, oh my god, I feel like such a bandwagoner with this one, but I have started the Elisabeth Blouse by PetiteKnit. She's been teasing this for ages, and like I feel like everyone is posting on their stories being like, oh my god, I'm gonna knit this, blah blah blah. And like realistically it's like such a plain sweater, but it got to me. Like PetiteKnit knows what she's doing, and I am powerless to stop myself from jumping on the bandwagon. But like I finished the collar, which was like a joy to knit, and then now I'm in the raglan bit, which is fine. Like raglans kind of suck, for being honest, but you know, it's going, and I am like loving knitting with this. So this is, I don't know if you can really tell in this light, but yeah, it's like a green black, 100% merino that I also found at the thrift store. And if you've seen any of my past podcasts, I think you know that I've been like agonizing over what to knit with this, because you can't really do anything. Okay, you can do whatever you want, there's no rules, but there's no point, in my opinion, in doing anything with like texture, beautiful cables, blah blah blah, in such a dark color, because you won't be able to see it. So like realistically, this is also what my brain was thinking when I'm just gonna call her PetiteKnit. I know her name is like Mete. I don't know how to pronounce it, which is, you know, like I should just be a good podcaster and fucking look it up, but I'm not going to. So when PetiteKnit posted these on her story, she was posting it in a navy, and I was like, I also have a very dark, cool toned color. So obviously this is the pattern I should knit. And like that was just the end of my thought process, and I got the pattern and I've been knitting on it ever since. And this merino is like really nice to knit with, and it's feeling super plush. She calls for like a ludicrous amount of stitch markers, which is kind of annoying, because so I did not make myself enough stitch markers. I have like my one cute one on here right now. Cover face, cute, I made that. And the rest are just shitty little pieces of yarn, but such is life. But yeah, I'm very excited to keep doing the raglan, and then you do the little v-neck, and then it'll probably be boring after that, but like this yarn has been really nice to knit with, so I have absolutely no complaints. And yeah, there were short rows. Like I don't think I'm gonna knit any more, no more sweaters without like, what's it called, neck shaping or like back shaping, just like some sort of short row somewhere or other way of shaping to like have it fit well, because I'm tired of like sweaters that are round yokes and just like strangling you all the time. So yeah, maybe I should insert a cute little clip of like my this sweater that I got from the thrift store was like super dirty. I think whoever owned it previous to me maybe had an animal or something. Like, I feel like it was full of fur. So instead of just unraveling and caking it up, like, I actually put it in a hank and I washed it. Obviously I washed the sweater, but I washed the yarn, unraveled, and now it's like hanging, drying, and like dripping all over the floor. Not the floor, I put towels down. Although now that I'm looking at it, I put a white towel down and I thought that the dye wasn't leaking, but maybe the dye's leaking a little bit. Also, I hope I didn't stain these towels. Yikes. That's upsetting. But yeah. So that's that. What a ridiculous podcast I just did. I don't think I have anything else. Like, that's a lot. Do I have any acquisitions? My lovely mother got me a set of Haya Sharp interchangeable knitting needles. Ugh, bougie, for Christmas. I've been using that for this project and I've been flying. But these fuckers are sharp. Like, I know it's bad, but sometimes I like push my left needle with my finger. Is it my left needle that I push? Which needle do I push? Let me think. Oh no, it's my right needle. Sometimes I push it with my left fingertip and like it's tender because these are sharp. But I feel I'm fucking fast when I do these, especially when I like switch over to Continental. I refuse to purl a whole row Continental, but I'll knit Continental, and like I'm just like, and I feel freaking fast with like new Haya Sharp interchangeable needles. I'm like, feel really good when I knit on that. So hopefully I have a sweater soon on that. And then what else going on? I'm back in the jam of Instagram, kind of. So come follow me there, I guess. I post things sometimes. I like Instagram stories. And post, I don't know, like, I hate taking photos of myself. I don't know what to do with my face. That's why I half blur some of my photos, because I just have ugly faces in them. Because I'll be there and I'm just like, with my face. And so I gotta blur my face out because the clothing item looks good, but like I look stupid. So I don't know what that has to do with anything, but do I have any other acquisitions? I don't think so. I have found a local yarn store that does knit nights here, so I really want to go to one. None of them so far. I've been busy on all the days, but if you happen to be in Montreal, hit me up and we can go to like a knit night together. We can just create a knit night, the two of us, or if there's more than one other person that lives in Montreal and wants to knit, it can be more than the two of us. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, I don't know, I feel like YouTube's dying and I don't really understand why I'm like putting more content out into the void, but here we are, I've done it, so hopefully you're watching it and you didn't hate it. So yeah, like, subscribe, blah blah blah. And that's it from me. So goodbye from me and the subletted booby painting, and we'll talk at you soon.